Well, I'm going to kick us off since it's 2:30. Thank you all so much for coming. My name is Dakota Dolan. I'm the Forest Resilience Projects Manager and Internship Program Manager at YVSC. And I'm really excited and proud to be sharing the work of these three wonderful interns this spring. If you're not familiar with the YVSC Internship Program, it's a 12-week professional experience for local students and young professionals to gain real experience at a local nonprofit in the environmental sector. And the program starts off with being paired, interns are paired with a YVSC staff member, and together they come up with a project that directly integrates their work with YVSC's programming. And all projects are related to sustainable initiatives within the Yampa Valley. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce our Executive Director, Michelle Stewart, and she's going to say a few words before we get started with presentations.
Great. Thank you so much, Cody. Do we have sound? Hi. Can you hear?
Yes. Okay.
Perfect. Great. Thank you so much. And I wish so much that I could be there in the room with you. This is one of our favorite days of the year. And I want to thank everyone who's there in the room for joining us today to celebrate these final projects of what we all collectively consider to be three fantastic YVSC spring interns. Mariesa, Sierra, and Liam, congratulations. It's been such a pleasure to work with you. And please don't be strangers. So once you're a YVSC intern, we hope to see more of you. So please keep in touch. And as members of the audience and those that are joining us online will soon see, our interns work closely with YVSC staff, as Cody mentioned, over the course of their 12-week term to gain firsthand experience in professional experience working in sustainability-related work, and while doing so, bring additional capacity, inspiration, commitment, and innovation to our work as an organization. Our internship program is celebrated, it is impactful, and we are really happy to have this opportunity to hear from our interns today and see how they have put together their insights and their work into a culminating, very polished final presentation. I would like to thank Moniker Foundation, who continues to be a multi-year supporter of our internship program. Our internship program offers paid internships, which is really important for the student perspective. So we asked at the outset of the program if having a paid internship versus an unpaid internship made a difference, and it did, which is probably not surprising to our interns. And so we're really pleased to be able to offer a paid internship program, which we know makes a little bit of a difference. So thank you to Moniker Foundation for their support. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank Dakota Dolan for her extraordinary leadership of the program. She took the foundations of a program and really brought in her own ideas and ways to polish and improve the quality of the program, and brings to the program just great expertise and commitment to supporting learning in really rich ways. So thank you, Cody. And I want to thank you, Sierra, Mariesa, and Liam, for everything you've put into this, as well as our YVSC staff, who have served as extraordinary mentors, I know, over the course of the term. Each and every day, it's such an honor for me to be able to work with them. So thank you for your contributions to these interns, and thank you YVSC board members for joining as well. So for members of the public and for our partners and family members and friends who I hope are there, we really look forward to hearing from them. Cody, I'll turn it over to you, and we're a very friendly audience, so please, interns, know that we're just so excited to hear everything you have to say. So take a deep breath, don't be nervous, and we look forward to it. So thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Gonna switch back over to our screen here so we can get started. Okay. Awesome. Well, I would love to welcome Mariesa Sjoberg up to present her project first on the Soil Moisture Monitoring Network. Okay. You're good to speak. Yep. Good to connect. Sounds good. Hi, everyone. I'm Mariesa Sjoberg, one of the interns this term.
And I did my project on community science engagement and education, specifically under the umbrella project of community science soil moisture monitoring. A little bit about me. I'm from Spokane, Washington. I moved here in 2021, and I'm attending Colorado Mountain College, and I'll be graduating with my bachelor's in sustainability in 1 week. When I graduated high school, my mom gave me a quote, and it's, "Ask not what the world needs most, but ask yourself what makes you come alive, because what the world needs is people who have come alive." And these are some of the things that make me feel alive. On the top left, you can see a picture of me at 10 years old with our family dog, Josie. And below that, her now, she's 13. To the right, there's me participating in the CMC beekeeping club, doing some honey harvesting, as well as some photos of my family. We love a good sunset and some game time. On the bottom right is me doing some art in the wilderness, my two favorite things. Top right, I'm learning to do some hunting. So far, it's not going very well, but we're learning. And then I always enjoy a good day on the river. Back to my project. Some of my staff mentors during this term was Madison Muxworthy, Michelle Stewart, and Dakota Dolan. I also worked with our partners at the Center for Western Weather and Water Extremes, as well as the U.S. Forest Service. In this process, I developed the Moisture Mappers Project. We thought of this name during a brainstorming session, which was very fun and lively. And Moisture Mappers is what we came up with as an easier title than Community Science Soil Moisture Monitors. But it was founded in spring of 2023, and we partnered with the Medicine Bow Route National Forest Service with their funding from the Participatory Science Fund. And it's a community science-based soil moisture monitoring project. So we're asking community members to go and take moisture samples from lots of varying terrains throughout our Yampa Basin. On the right here, you can see Steamboat Springs, where we are, and the highlighted area is our whole upper Yampa Basin. So some of the community needs that I found and some areas of knowledge gaps from the community is that we really need large-scale contributors to this soil moisture monitoring. We really need data from lots of different areas, and it's crucial. As our rapidly changing climate gets worse, we need to better understand our local resources and barriers. Right now, we currently have very little soil data in general across all of the state of Colorado, and I would say as an ecological science, it's very minimal. So creating science or soil data during this time for the future is crucial since it's such a long-term health issue. The objectives and goals were to create an interface with volunteers, to recruit them and retain them in the long term. And I did a lot of research on how to engage community members. I also performed an informational interview with our partner, Ryan Adams. He's a South Zone soil scientist, try saying that 3 times fast, at the Medicine Bow Route National Forest and Thunder Basin National Grassland. Some of the takeaways I got from my conversation with him is that there are 3 primary scales of moisture mapping. There's SMAP, which is a NASA database that has satellites that take soil moisture. We also have our hydrometeorological stations, and those are throughout our Yampa Basin, but we don't have a lot of them. So to supplement some of that on the ground data collection, we really need community members to participate in this project. He said that soil is key to managing ecosystems in the short and long term, so starting now is really important. Also a quote from him, "It's the medium we build on and live on, where we get our food and many of our consumable resources, and ultimately it's where everything will get recycled to start all the process again." And I think that's so important to live by. So during this, I developed a website. It may be used by YVSC. It's also possible to just take what you guys need and implement it into our existing website. But there's just some basic information and a sign up and how their information will contribute to the overall project at YVSC. A little bit more information, photos, and then we also did some steps to soil sensing success. So we sign up and you pick a collection day and a trail from our designated list. and you receive your equipment and you take a hike and you do 5 moisture data points. We have a very easy app, which I will show you after this. You return the gear, get excited about next time. We also have a little bit more information about why soil moisture is important. It's a key climate indicator. And in addition, water source resource planning, it can be used for drought and wildfire preparedness. I also added an FAQ page, just with some basic information for volunteers and make it feel really accessible to everyone. I also created this flyer on the left, just with the most basic information, get the word out. We haven't launched this project quite yet to recruit volunteers, but in anticipation for that, this flyer is ready to go. It is a usable QR code at the bottom for a sign up. And then on the right is our Anecdata platform that volunteers can use to implement their data into an app. It's really easy to use out in the field. Some of my biggest takeaways from the project is that we need wide-scale data collection, and to keep community members engaged over a long period of time, it's crucial to have a database that they can come back and reference to and feel like they have some sort of long-term investment in the work that we're doing. I also think it would be important to collaborate with other organizations. They may have a volunteer base that's helpful for us to use. My professional and personal takeaways. I got to collaboratively learn with Madison, which was great, look over her shoulder and attend some meetings with her, which was really interesting. A lot of information in the meetings went over my head, but it was really nice to be in a professional setting and kind of learn about what people are doing in the greater Y Basin network. Also, my interview with Ryan Adams. And one of my biggest personal takeaways is to not be so intimidated in asking for help or making connections within the industry and feeling like the knowledge that I come in with is enough and you don't need to worry about asking questions or building a network. Everyone was so welcoming and I really appreciate that aspect of my experience. Also, Dakota Dolan arranged many wonderful speakers and lessons during our internship meetings. We learned how to make professional agendas and the art of storytelling and communicating science to potential non-scientists and how impactful storytelling can be in their comprehension and investment. We also learned some grant writing and did a GIS story map tutorial with Nicole Pepper, and then got to meet with some big city members, our board member, Allison Williamson, as well as the city commissioner, Sonia Macy's. Some other YVSC projects that I attended was one of the meetings, the Y Basin Network meeting that I spoke about before. Me and Madison also got to go out to the Y Basin snow depth sensor, which was really fun. I mostly played in the snow, but it was great to see it in person. You can see me playing in the snow on the right. I also attended staff meetings, our intern and staff bowling night, sorry. There's me on the right, bowling. Bowling meeting, it was very official. I also made a next generation newsletter for young professionals in the area, and then a blog post for our website. So some recommendations for the future of this project is to really prioritize that community education and engagement aspect. I know that our project isn't quite to that stage, but I do know that it's really important to include the community because our project really depends on them. Also creating a user-friendly data sharing platform, potentially different from Anecdata, and creating something that's more fit for our website. And then, like I said before, partnering with existing organizations that have a volunteer base. And then providing updates in a newsletter so that even if people aren't checking up on our website or necessarily looking for an event, they'll still know what's going on within the community. Some acknowledgements, our partner Ryan Adams, Kate Brocato and Abby Vandergraff for supporting me with my content, my writing and revisions. My fellow interns, Sierra Babcock and Liam Miller. Dakota Dolan for arranging such wonderful meetings and really helping me expand my network. Michelle Stewart for facilitating this internship and encouraging us to participate. And then Nathan Stewart, one of my key professors at Colorado Mountain College, who has pushed me throughout my degree and encouraged me to apply for this position. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions about the work I've done this term?
I'm sure they'll start taping.
Yes.
Did you look into, I don't know how far you got in your project, but did you look into like Yampa as like a possible partner to work on this with, since they do a lot of like major hikes and?
Yes, I interned with Yampa previously 2 summers ago, and I see an opportunity within the organization. I also know someone who's a fellow CMC student who's working with them currently, and I do think there is an opportunity for it. Yeah. Mhm. Yes.
You talked a lot about the benefits to YVSC as an entity for having this widespread data collection. But do you see any benefits to the volunteers themselves for being able to go out and work on these projects and collect data for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Very good question. I think it helps people build their own networks of people that they care about. I always meet new people at these type of volunteer events who have similar values towards sustainability. I think that's important to facilitate. I also think engaging with science in a way that you may never have experienced brings a level of connectedness to the land that they may not have an opportunity to experience somewhere else. Yes.
Very nice, Marissa. What do you think might be the biggest challenge for implementing this for us, and how should we go about addressing that?
Yeah, as an organization, I think YVSC's biggest barrier will be consistency with volunteers. I think that we generally have good turnout for one-time volunteers, but getting someone to come back. Part of my strategy was wanting to create a database that makes them feel like they have some sort of investment, like, oh, I did that one last summer, and now we're doing it again or something like that. So I think there's opportunities, but I'm not the expert. Yes.
How do you think you could get someone like me, who I am sciencey, but not environmentally oriented per se? How do you think you could get me excited and invested in this type of project where maybe I'm not signed up for this newsletter already?
Right, yeah, that's a very good question. I think it's important to know people. I think for someone like you, having a network at school or being able to reach larger organizations, you know, as YVSC, I think it would be ideal if we could expand the people that we're reaching out to, so that we could reach a student like you, maybe through another program at CMC. But I think it's something you really hear about through your friends and you get excited about. And I think it's word of mouth, especially in this small community, that really makes a big difference in volunteers.
Good job, Mariesa. That was wonderful. I've been so impressed by all of your work in the internship, and I think you just jumped on all the opportunities and took on so many amazing things with this internship. You had not done soil moisture monitoring at all beforehand. How was it when you went out on Spring Creek Trail and did it for the first time? Was it relatively easy? Do you think that the community members would take on to something like this easily?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a great time. It was a lot of the designated trails that we're suggesting for this project are family friendly. They're fairly easy, as well as the Spring Creek Trail that we did our testing on. I thought it was really fun though. It was very accessible, something I feel like you could teach at a kid's summer camp. Just small measurements, and I thought it was really fun to, you know, play around with the device, and like, even if it wasn't the data we were recording, but just to kind of experience what it's like. It's like, oh, this one's different from the other one, and like, I don't know, this makes you feel like you're learning something, even though you're just reading numbers on our device. It feels like you're learning something more about the environment, and I felt excited. But I also getting my degree in sustainability, so anything nature makes me feel excited. Yeah. Thanks. Anyone else?
Michelle has a question on Zoom. Michelle, do you want to ask your question?
Yes, I'd love to ask you a question. I didn't want to bomb it. It's hard to know the timing. So thank you for queuing me in, Abby. Mariesa, fantastic job. Really wonderful presentation. And I echo all of the words that have, you know, you've just been such a pleasure to work with over the term. One of the things that you mentioned at the outset, you know, during your interview for the internship program itself was really your interest in, you know, learning what is it like to actually work in sustainability, like the sustainability field. And so that was something that really piqued my interest, and I'd love to hear your response now. So, what was really meaningful for you, or what was surprising to you as you've kind of gotten your hands dirty in some different aspects of our work as an organization, which of course is, has several approaches to addressing climate change as a driver of change in our area, but broadly within the field of sustainability. So tell us what it's like to work in it, and personally, what was, interesting or valuable for you.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. I think there are many valuable things. I'm not sure if this is just a thing about people who work in sustainability or if it's YVSC specifically, but everyone loves their jobs and loves their life, and no one feels like they're working a job that they hate. Everyone is so passionate about what they do, and it's so refreshing to be in that kind of environment. I also think there's a level of collaboration that I've never seen in other organizations, though I have little experience. I just think the way everyone works together and meshes as an organization is so powerful, and so productive in the way that we get things done. So that was really amazing to see, and that everyone is a tool. So to be able to work in that kind of environment was great.
It's awesome. Well, we're so glad to have had you join us. So thank you, and really wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Michelle. Nice.
Great job, Mariesa. And just to echo some of the other sentiments that have been said, Mariesa's just done a wonderful job. I've seen so many personal improvements in you with your organization and just really tackling this project that was so new to you. So really well done. Great job.